Aloha, I'm Felicia Miller Johnson, and I host All Intuitive Conversations with career professionals. Aloha and welcome to All Intuitive Conversation. I'm Felicia and I am excited to be connecting today with Cathy Nesbitt. Aloha, Cathy.
Aloha! Yuppie! Happy International Women's Day!
Happy International Women's Day.
Thank
Here
you.
we
Yay.
are connecting. Well, I'm already loving your excitement and energy exactly for that. And so tell me, all I know is what I kind of saw on your LinkedIn profile. And I'll say what stood out for me was the sprouts. I remember my mom used to have me eat those on my pita sandwiches back in the day.
Uh-huh.
So it just brought back fond memories of that. So tell me about Cathy and the sprouts.
Yeah, so my working title is Cathy Crawley Laughing Bean Queen. I'll, t- I'll tell you
Yes.
So the
Okay.
sprouting part is the bean queen part.
Tell me
Yeah.
more.
So
Yes.
sprouts are just the seed or the bean germinated, and you eat the sprouts, and their nature's like they're the original fast food, let's say that. They contain fiber, protein, minerals, everything our body needs.
Okay, but how did Cathy get into the sprouts? Like, what's the story behind that?
So oh my gosh, so that's okay. So go back to the crawly part,
Huh?
which is a worm composting business. Started in 2002. Can you imagine? It's my 20th anniversary selling worms by the pound. Yikes.
Wow!
Yay.
Congratulations!
Hooray. I know, I made it. Overnight success.
I know how it works.
So my very first event, I do a lot of exhibiting, or at least BC before COVID.
Yeah. I like it. Yes.
From now on, it'll be BC.
Before COVID.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So my very first event, there I was exhibiting, and there was a man selling the sprouter that I now sell it, but I've been a user for 20 years. It looks like a little spaceship. It's a hydroponic thing, size of a dinner plate, so it's not big. And
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is that thing? And he said it's a sprout grower and told me all about sprouts. And he's a ballroom dancer. He's 93 this year.
Mm.
72 at the time, right? Tall, lean, ballroom dancer body,
Mm-hmm.
super healthy, vibrant, still working at 72.
Yes.
Right. So I was like, I don't need to know why something works. You know, people need the science, not me. I'm just like, look at you. I want to be like you. Okay. What do you got?
Give me the sprouts.
So I said, okay, I'm in. So he said, if you're going to do this, start your day with 2 tablespoons of the sprouted mung beans. And I'll talk about that in a sec.
Mm-hmm.
There's up to 100 times more digestive enzymes in sprouts versus vegetables.
Do tell.
And so we're given a certain amount of enzymes when we're born. And
Mm-hmm.
when we're eating, if we're not taking in enzymes in salad or sprouts, as we start to age, we start to get digestive issues. And we
Okay.
go to the doctor, and the doctor says, here's a prescription for enzyme pills. And
Mm.
some people listening might be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
I take
And I've
pills.
heard.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
Right. So sprouts contain up to 100 times more digestive enzymes. You just eat the sprouts, you grow them yourself. So they cost pennies a day, and they
Mm-hmm.
have everything in them. So they're hydrating, alkalizing, regenerative, biogenic, and 100 times more digestive enzymes.
Wow. Okay.
Super beans.
Super beans. So, and I'm tagging that with your energy, like I said, which is amazing. So,
Thank
but
you.
let's go back. So, when you met this guy, where were you at, like physically? Were you not feeling energized, or was it, hey, this would be an additional plus two? Like, where were you at then?
Yeah, so I was just kind of eating every day kind of diet. I did. I mean, I I would say I was eating the North American diet, the not the super healthy one.
Uh-huh.
And I knew nothing about sprouts and sprouting. I wasn't doing anything. I was healthy. I mean, there wasn't, I was young too. I was 20
Yes.
years younger, right? So,
Uh-huh.
yeah. So
Okay.
when I started eating the sprouts, I did get energy, right? Because they are biogenic. They're life force giving. When you eat live food, you get the energy from the sprouts.
Well, it's so interesting because I was shuffling and I was like, initially the cards that kind of came out were the Ten of Cups. What stood out to me was all the grass that they're
Okay.
standing on and all the foliage. And then it was like, oh, but that's not enough. So now I'm like, okay, this is the guy that you were kind of talking to that you connected with, and all of the foliage and all the little flowers that were kind of, underneath that. And then it became this queen sitting in
Mm,
the chair, right? Um, with you now. So how did you make this connection? Because I get the impression, like you said, this is part of your business.
mm.
So
Yeah.
how did you go from just, okay, I just want to be healthy personally to saying, I want this to be my business?
So yeah, so I had this worm business. I met him at that event. I don't need to know why something works. He told me how beautiful these sprouts were. So I said, okay. I started to
Hmm.
do it. I was a user for 10 years. And
Hmm.
I really think that, I'm given all these things that are given to everybody, but they don't pick up on it.
Hmm.
Right? All this stuff is available to everybody.
Yeah.
But we can only take in so much. And I took it in. I was like, oh, I love this. And I would see him at events and say, oh, you should get one of those. So 10 years in, he said to me, why don't you sell this with your worm business?
Hmm.
And I said, oh my gosh, why don't I? That's a great idea.
Uh-huh.
Right? Easy to sell something that you love, that you're a user of. And so I'm a
Hmm.
walking testament. I mean, with the sprouts, I'm 59. I'm going to be 60 this year. New
Yes.
day. Hooray, right? Youpee.
Yes.
I know, right? Yeah, and I'm high energy, as you see. I take no prescription drugs, have no multivitamin. I don't have any ailments. Yeah, I'm
Yes.
vibrant, lively. I sleep well. I eat sprouts every day. And you know what? It's
Hmm.
really funny, Felicia. When I started selling the sprouter in 2012, I was like, oh,
Hmm.
everybody needs this. Everybody's going to do this. Will this be great? And people said, what else can you sprout? It was just the one bean that I was sprouting. And I said, I don't know.
Hmm.
I can't lie.
It starts with a question. Uh-huh.
And so I was like, they said, well, don't you get sick of mung beans? And I said, well, it's my health plan. So would you get sick of feeling great and having tons of energy? Maybe people love their story.
Yeah. Hmm.
Right?
So what else do you grow besides the bean sprouts?
Okay, so after that, then I was like, as an entrepreneur, what do I care if they don't want to buy mung beans? What else can I sprout? So I started to experiment. I'm a sprouting monster now, by the way.
Of course. Uh-huh.
Lentils, chickpeas, fenugreek, radish, alfalfa, broccoli. I mean, it's peas, all kinds of whatever grows in a little vegetable, you can probably sprout and eat it.
Hmm. Okay, so you add all these different things that you're growing. So would you categorize yourself as a farmer? Like,
Sort of, you're growing microgreens.
mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Although it's a little hydroponic unit, just kind of for personal consumption.
Okay. Okay, so then that's the question then. Like personal consumption. Like how many of these little containers do you have? Because if you're
Oh,
eating it every day, like
yeah.
does it grow fast enough to support you doing it every day?
Yeah, absolutely it does. So it's about the size of a dinner plate. It's
Yes.
got a stainless steel mesh, a plastic dome.
Hmm.
Yeah, you put 3 tablespoons of beans will yield 2 cups of food. And then you eat 2 tablespoons of the mung beans. That's my
Hmm.
health plan. So that's my multivitamin. So
Okay.
for sure I have those and I put them in the fridge, start a next batch. So I've always got them growing and always in the fridge.
Okay.
And then
Got it.
I do have several units too because I'm selling them.
This is what you do.
That's what I do, right? So I will have, like, at any given time, I'll have chickpeas, lentils, like I'll have a whole variety of things sprouting. And those take longer. The mung beans are about a day or two and they're ready.
Mhm.
Super
Mhm.
fast, right? Yeah.
Right. So the question that comes to mind is the 10 years. What is it about the 10 years? Why do you think it took that long for you to start the business part of it?
Because I think because I don't have entrepreneurial background, I just came into, I kind of stumbled upon being an entrepreneur
Mm,
because I saw a need. And so I started a business. I got injured at work. I mean, it was a whole kind of story. I was meant to do this.
mhm.
And
Mhm.
so it never occurred to me, even though I was a user of that, I kind of thought everybody knew what I knew. Again, going back to that statement, I really felt like everybody must know about this. Why? How? I'm not special. I am
Mm.
special. Of course, I'm special.
Of course you're
By the way,
special. Yes.
right?
Yes.
But I really thought everybody knows about this stuff. Yeah. So it wasn't until Tony mentioned to me, "Hey, why don't you sell this?" It was like, "Oh my gosh, it's got to be easier to sell than worms." Although it isn't, because people don't know about sprouts. They don't know why they would grow them. And sprouts have
Mhm.
had some bad PR. At least in Canada, we had, it was about 10
Mm.
years ago now, an article in the paper about how sprouts were recalled, like the sprouts that you buy in the store.
Mhm.
They'd been sitting too long. They formed E. coli or whatever. So there was a recall of the sprouts. And then people got afraid. And when I'm
Oh.
exhibiting, people will say to me, still to this day, they say, "Oh, I heard that sprouts are toxic." And I say, "Oh my gosh, if sprouts are toxic, we're really doomed because all
Mm.
food starts in seed form. So how
Mhm.
could sprouts be toxic? How could we go from seed to sprout to food and the food not be toxic then?"
Right.
If that statement is true. I mean, it isn't true, but
Mhm.
yeah, I think, part of the problem today is that we've taken away the critical thinking.
Okay.
We hear
Mhm.
something and then we just repeat it without doing our due diligence. Like, have we done the research? Do we know that that article is true?
Yes, you see that many times where somebody will share a posting on social media and you're like, did you at least Google search like something else to validate more than just being that particular ad? Many times it's something that's inaccurate. But like you said, we just share the continuous information without using the critical thinking
Mm.
skills with that. So
Whoop.
yeah. Yeah. It's all good. It's people calling you about those sprouts, girl.
It's working. This live is working. Thanks
Like,
for calling.
thank you. Yes. I was like, I'm seeing you live on All Intuitive Conversation right now. And I'm like, yes, let me get some of these sprouts. So it's
Mm,
interesting because
mm,
I'm now looking at the picture of the queen and how she's sitting there, and it makes so much sense because now it's about the money. And Cherie talks about that she's generous, practical, gracious, materialistic, the ability to make anything more beautiful. So what immediately started off to me is worms, you selling worms and bean sprouts, but yet you have such energy in making that a beautiful experience and thing that is
mm,
on your career, right? And so it talks about it, also a sensible approach. Like you wanted to approach this sensibly of building your business. And then of course the fact that there's this little rabbit at the
mm.
bottom of the foot, which most people will probably describe that as bean sprouts are like a rabbit's food kind of thing. Like that was
Right. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
so it's kind of like you got your rabbit, you got your coins, and you're just sitting, just levelly in your throne in your space, right? So now that you're doing this, and now that you're doing this entrepreneurial thing, what is it the vision that you aspire to see 5 years from now?
Mm. So I've added the laughing part of my title is laughter yoga. And laughter yoga
Mm.
came to me about, it's interesting how things go in 10-year cycles. That just occurred to me.
Mhm.
2012.
Ah, yes.
Aha. Thought.
Mhm.
In 2012, one more person, this is indoor composting with the worms that I'm promoting,
Uh-huh.
Yeah, how do you like me now? So one more person said to me, "Ew, worms in the house," and that hit my heart. You
Mm,
know, many times over the years, people had said that, and
mhm,
it just was like, well, we need them, and I just didn't hear the mess. I didn't hear that they were afraid, or I didn't understand that they didn't want what I was selling.
mhm.
But 10 years, so I have all this energy. I guess it took that long for it to catch up to me.
Right. Mm,
Right. And I was like, oh, this is so hard. How am I going to do this? And I was introduced to laughter yoga. And, I was about to doff my wormed mission. I really believe it was why I was put here,
mhm,
to help solve the garbage crisis and fix our soil. And there's so many ways that the worms are here to serve us. And we're here to work together actually with the worms. But if we're afraid of them, we're not working with them.
mhm, mhm.
So then I was introduced to laughter yoga, and laughter yoga really helped me to stay in my business, to become more resilient, to just be more reflective of those statements, like not to allow them to get into my heart, to have kind
Yes.
of a shield, an etheric shield almost, if that makes sense,
Oh,
where
yes.
where people's negative comments can't get in about the worms. I feel like because I have worms, I don't have worms, I have worms here.
Tracking.
Worms are something that, even the word worm, like can of worms, is a bad thing. Computer
Mhm,
virus, worms, parasites, they're all like kind of bad worms. And so the
mhm.
word worm is a bad word. And I feel like it gives people permission to say what they want about their experience with worms, because
Mm.
everybody hates worms, right? Right. So yeah.
Uh-huh.
So there I am. This kind of, and I'm kind of worm like, where I don't have any structure. I'm just like, here I am. Energy comes and goes, and I do get hurt
Mm,
because I'm so open. I mean, not anymore. I'm in it for so long. I have a
yes.
bit of a tortoise shell now.
Yes. Okay. Mhm.
So the laughter anyway came to me and helped me to, and now I'm a laughter teacher. So 5 years from now, I'm going to have this incredible, because I'm a natural laugher and we need it, especially during this cuckoo time. We need this laughter more than ever. And I'm being called big time to bring this laughter to corporations, right? For team building, creativity, all of those things, to schools,
Yes.
the poor children that have been suffering for 2 years, the seniors that have been left idle by themselves.
Mhm.
So I have a big mission with the laughter as well, because what I feel about the laughter. Sorry, and then
No,
I'll
no, no, no,
take a
no, go.
breath.
Mhm. No, go. No.
what
That's
what
what
I
we're here for.
that's what I think about the laughter is, we have this mental health crisis that was here before. It's just now we
Mhm.
have to look at it. It's bigger than ever. And if you're in a crisis, if you're having a mental crisis, you can't care about the planet. You can't care about the neighbor. You don't care about
Right.
anything other than you cannot. You
Mhm.
cannot.
Mhm. Yeah. So, I was shuffling and connecting with your energy, and what stood out to me was the crystal that you have, behind
Oh,
you.
here. Yes.
Yes, and so I wanted to go to the crystal deck, and you got Tiger's Eye. Are you familiar with this one?
I'm not really that familiar with the crystals.
Yes. So Tiger's Eye, it says, overcome your fears. And
Mm.
that's when you were talking about how people are afraid of the worms and all of the anxiety and all of that are connected to that. And it says, sooner or later, we are all called upon to take action and face our fears. Be empowered, courageous, and bold. Even the bravest among us experience fear. It matters only that you face that fear and overcome it. Don't let the natural instinct to avoid discomfort prevent you from realizing some of your greatest experiences. Storm the proverbial castle, push open the gates, embrace your inner tiger, and stare down that fear until it is conquered. Shift your perspective and welcome fear as an opportunity to step up, meet the challenge, and demonstrate your resilience. And then for those of you that may be experiencing that, the affirmation is I face fear head on. Today, begin one thing you've been afraid to do.
Wow. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I got goosebumps as you were reading that. I was like,
It is a lie. So yeah, so encouraging you to maybe consider getting you a little piece of tiger eye and having that as like I said, because you were talking about the laughing as well. It's like this also is just that reminder, just overcoming those fears and embracing that energy in regards to that. And so, in Jocelyn, who's joined us live, she says we need so much laughter and go back to playing.
oh,
Indeed. The fun times, right? Exactly.
laughter's been squished out of us. Right? You can't
It
control people when they're laughing.
yes, and Jocelyn, I needed that today. That card is powerful indeed. And so this is what I love about us co-creating, us having an all-intuitive conversation, and those that are connecting with us are receiving what they need as well. And so that's we're all connected. And
Mm.
that's showing that exactly. So I'm glad that that met you right where you are, Jocelyn, as well. So with the laughter and the overcoming the fears, and you have the 5 year plan. What is it that you may need support in? Because even though you could be laughing and having a good time, what is it that we have this audience of individuals that will come and watch this, and that you're putting this out there? What type of support is Cathy
I would
open to
love,
receive?
I offer a free Tuesday laughter club. Um, and
Do
I would,
tell.
yes, it's Tuesday morning on Zoom, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. And I would love for everybody to come and check it out because laughter yoga is weird. For the first time. The first time you do it, it's like, this is so weird because it's not jokes or comedy. It's intentional laughter exercises. Started
Mm,
in 1995 by a medical doctor, Dr. Madan Kataria in India.
mhm.
And hear this, his goal is world peace. Imagine all of us laughing together around the world. There
Yes.
are thousands of clubs around the world. They're doing laughter in prisons with military, with schools. Like in India, they have it in the curriculum. Like no one's skipping that class,
Mhm. Right.
right?
Oh,
I mean, it's just such a beautiful gift. Yeah, and so what I would love is what I need is for people to come and experience the magic, either with me or with somebody else. And just try it twice because the first time will be weird and you'll be like, that was weird. I feel weird because that's your ego saying, stop it. You look weird.
right. The judgment that we have on
The
others.
judgment, right? Our
Mhm.
brain is the thinker, our body is the feeler. So when we
Mhm.
start smiling or laughing, we start secreting the love drugs, dopamine, oxytocin,
Yes.
serotonin, endorphin, right? Versus cortisol.
Okay, Kathy. So I'm being called to ask you this, just in case for those that are not able to attend on a Tuesday, but they are watching this webcast wherever it's meeting them at that time. Will you facilitate a activity for us
Oh, yeah, let's do
here?
it.
Let's do
Oh, love it.
let's end with the laugh. Yes. What can we do right here? I'm
I
for
love
it.
it. So laughter yoga is again not about jokes or comedy. It's deciding to laugh.
Yes.
It's a cardiovascular workout. So we start with clapping and chant. So we clap palm to palm.
Hmm.
And this is just for the adults, right? If you said to kids,
Yes.
go ahead and laugh, they're laughing. But
Right.
adults are like, what, no, what do you want? What, where's the, what? Oh, so here we go. So we're good. So we use our hands. So we're
Hmm.
occupied. So we're out of our head.
Okay.
So there's a rhythm and a mantra. It's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3,
One, two, one, two, three.
or
Okay.
ho, ho, ha, ha, ha.
Ho
Ho,
ho
ho,
ha
ha,
ha
ha,
ha.
ha. Ho,
Ho
ho,
ho
ha, ha,
ha
ha.
ha ha.
Ho,
Ho
ho,
ho
ha,
ha
ha,
ha
ha.
ha. Ho
Ho,
ho
ho,
ha
ha,
ha
ha,
ha.
ha. Yay.
Okay.
Okay.
Yay!
So that's how you start. Just because it's a cardiovascular workout, you start by warming up. You do some
Yeah.
gentle breathing, like deep diaphragmatic breathing. So everyone put your arms out in front. And we're just going to breathe in and curl our arms up. So breathe in, curl your arms up, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, and then just gently sigh it out. Ah. Good. Again, we're going to breathe in. Hold it, hold it, hold it, smiling. Hold it, and then we're going to just giggle it out.
Yes.
Oh, so it's little activities. So there's a new product on the market. It's called
Yes.
Laughter Cream. Yes, it is.
Okay.
And it comes in a pump. How convenient. So you just pump out some laughter cream And wherever
Uh-huh.
you put it, you start laughing. And this is good for people. Like whenever you're putting your cream on or your makeup on, you can be, oh, and take as much as you want. It's free.
Oh, okay. I got you. Oh, I thought we were talking about a real product. Oh,
Okay, what about a
I'm
selfie?
tracking
Let's take
now.
a selfie.
Yes, yes,
How about a
please.
groupie, both of us?
Oh,
Oh. And then between activities, we may say, very good, yay. And we do it
yay.
twice. Very good,
Yay.
yay.
Oh my
And
gosh. Okay, I just got to chill, Kathy, because with your arms out and what you just explained, even goes back to the car and the position when he
oh,
was just in the release. Like, yes, release this. And then the card, that very first that you came out, is about happiness and the family. And so it's
oh,
like the laughter and joy. So, yes, see, it all comes back
woo,
full
right?
circle. All right, so you guys are in your privacy of your own home. Do that, have fun. Because even I was like in my head, I was like, I thought you, I literally went to a real product, like you were talking about a product, and I was like, no, this is still an activity that we're doing.
Right? So when we're in the shower, we can be laughing. When we're
Yes.
doing the dishes, like anything you don't like to do. And here's a great one. Here's a
Okay.
great one as the world is opening up again and we're getting back to driving.
Yes.
Okay, so I've primed myself when I'm driving. If somebody cuts me off, it's never personal, but we take
Right.
it personal. We're like, hey. So
Mm-hmm.
when I get cut off, um, I go, oh, I triggers me to do my laughter yoga. I'm like, oh, time to do my laughter, and I flail my arm. So believe it or not, this is
Yes.
so fun. The person is like looking in their rear view mirror. You know, you cut someone off, you're like, ooh, I didn't have room. I know, but I had to go.
Yeah.
Right? It happens. They're looking, and I get more room. I'm not kidding. They give me more space because they think that chick is cuckoo. Nope, just doing my laughter yoga. Thanks.
Look, back to the, yes, the arms wailing, releasing, like you're just releasing all of that tension and air. Yep, girl. Yes. Yes,
Right?
because
Because
it
you
literally
know.
says the need to release situations or people that hold you back.
Woo! I love
Mhm.
it. Right? Like, don't you feel more
Amazing.
energized just doing that little ho ho ha 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 and
Yeah.
those couple little breathing?
Yes, indeed. Well, Kathy, it has been a pleasure having this all intuitive conversation with you. Thank you for bringing your
Mm.
laughter and your joy, your worms and your bean sprouts to all of the watchers here. Thank you for watching the show, whether it was live or at the replay of where it's meeting you. So until we meet again next week for our intuitive conversation, y'all have a great week.